Good day. I'm frequently asked by new armorers what are some good books to start reading to get a better feel for what they need to know about armoring. Today we're going to be covering 3 of my favorites and going into why I think that they should be on your reading list. So stick with us right after the cut. I'm Sigurd, and we're going over the books that new armorers should start with. My first choice is controversial. A lot of armorers don't like it. They feel that the information is too out of date. I think the information is needed. It is a requirement to be a good armorer to understand how armor evolves and to be able to understand your dating, so that in the SCA, most people, if you're within 100 years, they're good. But as you improve and you start working with living history people, they're going to want a much tighter tolerance on the time period that a piece is. And you should understand how those shapes evolve over time. What I like about Charles Ffoulkes' Armour and His Craft, while it's an old book, it was first printed in somewhere between 1910 and 1925, is he really goes into the small details, how latch pins and attachments evolve over time, how sliding rivets, when they come into play, and the difference between leathers and flexibility versus a pivot point or sliding rivets. So those little details are really useful. And a lot of the other books just don't go into those types of details, which is why I really recommend reading it, and even potentially going back and rereading it again like every 10 years. Because every time I've gone back, I've reread it now 4 times, and I have found different things that I was ready to absorb that I didn't notice in previous goes at it. So that's my first and best book. Next, we're going to go into Claude Blair's European Armour. This was first printed in 1958, and he really goes into the shapes and how the styles evolved from mail wearing up to the decline of armor. So this is really good for the big picture, the broad, what the shapes look like, that type of thing. My next choice is Paul Martin, Arms and Armour. So this one, about half the book goes into weapons as much as armor. So it's not quite as useful as Claude Blair's book, but goes over some of the same things, maybe worded a little differently, covering different aspects. So again, I think it's important to review it. Because he's going into weapons, some of the things that he's talking about is the arms race. So you have a certain armor that's defeating the weapons, so they come up with weapons to defeat the armor, which causes armor to be improved and that kind of thing. And that's discussed in here. So these are really the 3 that I think that everybody should try to start with. Claude Blair's book is a little more difficult to get your hands on. It seems to only be available in the aftermarket, so from the original printing cycles. I've got links below. Ffoulkes and Martin are currently available on Amazon, so I've got those links down there. I've got a link to Claude Blair's book from ABE books. That's a used market, so the prices vary frequently, and the quality of the condition of the book varies. Ffoulkes and Martin, I believe, are like $10 to $15. You can get Armour in His Craft on ebooks. I wouldn't recommend it. You'll be pretty frustrated with it pretty quickly. The last time I went back to reread, I thought I would, hey, grab the ebook version and use that. And I quit within short order because it really hasn't been formatted for the ebook, and it wasn't all that great. But because it is out of copyright, there's a lot of different vendors that are producing different versions of it. It's constantly changing. So here's a good place to start. Again, I know some people they want to dig right into things. Getting that background is useful. So thanks for watching. Hope you learned something. Like, subscribe if you want to see more, and hope to see you again. There are some additional videos that you can watch of mine, so I hope you click on them. Thanks.